Hi, I'm at Stowford Farm Meadows in Devon over a very blustery weekend. The site is hosting about 1,500 people, so there are a lot of vans here. But I was rather taken with this Talbot Highwayman, which belongs to John and Jackie Wade. They bought it on eBay for about £3,000. Let's go and meet them. Hello, John and Jackie. Tell me how you went about buying your motorhome.
We weren't sure what we wanted to begin with, and we'd never really done anything like it. So we were searching around just to see what we could find for, a relatively small amount of money so we could dip our toe in the water. And in 2008, I found this motorhome on eBay and went and bought it from London, unseen, which I must admit was a mistake. But it's a learning curve, and we've been sort of doing things to her ever since and keeping her going.
So what did you have to do to make her viable?
Wow.
Where do we start?
Yeah. The first problem was the fact that at some time during her lifetime, somebody decided to drive her under a bridge, which it was too tall for, or the bridge was too low for, whichever way you want to put it.
You did spend 4 weeks redoing the ceiling because the ceiling was shot to pieces. So you had to take all that out and refit it all.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, see, you forgot about that.
I did forget about that. Well, that was in the early days. Now it seems to be,
just constantly repainting it.
Painting and...
You must have been shocked by the condition she was in. Do you regret it?
Not at all. We love her. We've got a love-hate relationship, Tess and I. I love her when we finally set off and I get used to being with her again. But to start off with, it's a bit like teething, and it's... But I do love her. We have a lovely time in her.
Yeah, there's a lot of work doing various bits and pieces, but the fun we get out of it once we get out and about is brilliant. I'd thoroughly recommend it to anybody and everybody, and what's a little bit of hard work for the reward.
So where have you been in her?
Oh crikey, we've
France?
we've done several trips to France.
Yeah. Shropshire.
Yes.
Cornwall.
Yeah.
Devon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But France is the most memorable, I think.
Yes, we've really enjoyed our trips to France. We love going on the airs. We had one trip which was quite memorable. We went to it was some Omer, and I was actually shot at by a duck hunter. We'd pulled up by the side of the lake and by the side of these bushes, and the next thing I heard this great big bang and all this thwacking as it came through the tree and bush line. And ricocheting off the side of the van, and I thought it was a wasp or something had stung me in the leg, and I was actually hit by a pellet. But of course I went running round found this Frenchman lying down in his boat with this blunderbuss, and I'm yelling at him in my best incompetent French, telling him he's an idiot, and trying to get him to pay attention to what he's doing. And he sort of nonplussed look, and eventually we managed to get through to him, and he was horrified that he'd hit us. But
we weren't laughing at the time. No, it was quite horrific, actually. But now
we left in a huff.
That's hilarious. Do you mind if we take a look around now?
Okay. Obviously, this is the main entrance. You come in through this way. We've got a kitchen area here, bathrooms here. Unfortunately, we've still got some damp issues. We're still getting a bit of water coming in. We did decorate it all out, but it is still coming in. We've got to resolve that yet. It's not as bad as when we first got it, but it's still a problem. Slowly changing all the lighting over to LED, so as we don't have so much power consumption on the battery, and the battery will last a bit longer between charges. The water boiler, we made a bit of an error when we first got the van. We didn't drain the system down in the winter. It froze, and unfortunately I then had to repair it. Luckily, as I'm a plumber, I was able to do that quite easily, but Most people probably would struggle with it and they'd probably have to replace it, but as I say, I was lucky.
This is a brilliant little van, and it's obvious that John and Jackie get a lot of pleasure out of it. And it just goes to show that you don't need to spend a lot of money to enjoy our hobby.